The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with tension as representatives of 100 alien species filled the vast hall. It was an unprecedented emergency meeting called to address the human question. At the center of the room, holographic displays flickered with footage of battles, skirmishes where humans had fought and emerged victorious against overwhelming odds. High Chancellor Drenvar of the Silioth stood at the podium, his gray, scaled skin glistening under the chamber's lights. His voice boomed across the hall. Esteemed council members, we gather here to discuss a matter of utmost importance: humanity, a species that, by all logical assessments, should not pose a threat. Yet time and again, they have defied the odds, resisted annihilation, and turned defeat into victory. The question before us is simple: why? Whispers filled the chamber. The Vrinth ambassador, a towering insectoid with multifaceted eyes, clicked his mandibles in frustration. Their technology is unremarkable. Their biology is frail compared to many here. What makes them so dangerous? Ambassador Kale of the Morvani, a sleek, feline species known for their cunning strategies, leaned forward, her emerald eyes narrowing. Perhaps the answer lies in their psychology. I propose we review their history. With a gesture from Drenvar, the holographic displays shifted, showing scenes from Earth's past. The Council watched in stunned silence as the footage displayed humanity's history of conflict. The wars, the revolutions, the endless cycles of destruction and rebirth. They fight each other as fiercely as they fight outsiders, noted Kale. It's as if war is woven into their very nature. A murmur of agreement rippled through the chamber. The Silioth Chancellor raised a clawed hand to silence the assembly. Let us hear from those who have faced humans in battle. The floor was given to Commander Vrix of the Zarnak Collective, a reptilian warrior whose scars bore testimony to countless battles. His voice was a guttural growl as he began. We encountered humans on the barren world of Draxis IV. They were outnumbered 5-1. Their weapons were primitive compared to ours. We expected a swift victory. Instead, they turned the planet into a living hell. The chamber grew silent as Vrix recounted the details. They adapted to our tactics faster than we could change them. They used the terrain to their advantage, laying traps that decimated our forces. When cornered, they'd fought with a ferocity I have never seen before. He paused, his eyes narrowing, and when we captured one, he smiled at us, smiled, as if to say, "You may kill me, but you will never break me." That was when I realized. Humans do not fear death as we do. They fight not for survival alone, but for something greater, for ideals, for each other, for defiance itself. The chamber erupted in debate. Some dismissed Vrix's account as exaggeration. Others began to see the truth in his words. Finally, the Chancellor called for order. "We need more evidence," he declared. "Bring forth the strategist." From the shadows stepped a being unlike any other present. Admiral Lorith of the Threeni Alliance, a race of highly logical and calculating beings, adjusted his shimmering robe. He was renowned as one of the galaxy's greatest tacticians, yet his expression betrayed unease. "I, too, have faced humans," Lorith began. "On the frozen moon of Karthos, our fleet engaged theirs. Statistically, they had no chance. We controlled the skies. They were stranded on the ground. Yet they forced us into retreat." Gasps echoed across the chamber. Lorith's fleet was considered invincible. "How?" demanded Kale. "They used desperation as a weapon," Lorith replied. "When conventional tactics failed, they improvised. They turned their own ships into guided missiles, sacrificing them to destroy our fleet. They're soldiers. They charged into battle knowing they would not return. But in doing so, they sowed chaos among our ranks." The feline ambassador's ears flattened. "Reckless. Effective," Lorith corrected. "Humans understand something we do not, the power of unpredictability. They do not fight by rules. They fight to win." The council chamber fell into a heavy silence. At last, a diminutive figure rose from the back of the room. It was Ambassador Relka of the Alviri, a peaceful aquatic species known for their diplomacy. Her voice was soft but carried weight. "Perhaps we are asking the wrong question," she began. "It is not why humans fight, but what drives them to fight so fiercely." The holographic displays shifted once more, this time showing scenes of human compassion. Soldiers carrying wounded comrades to safety, citizens banding together to rebuild after disasters, parents shielding their children from harm. Humans are dangerous because they care, Relka continued. They'd fight for their families, their friends, their homeworld. Their strength lies not in their technology or biology, but in their unity. They are willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for those they love. The chamber was silent as the council absorbed her words. Then from the far corner, a deep voice rumbled. And this is why we never fight the humans. All eyes turned to Supreme Warlord Korak of the Drenai Horde, a species known for their brutal conquests. His presence alone was enough to make seasoned warriors uneasy. Yet now, he seemed almost respectful. I fought them once, Korak admitted. We invaded one of their colonies, expecting an easy victory. Instead, we found ourselves in a nightmare. They used every resource, every trick, every ounce of strength to push us back. He paused, his crimson eyes scanning the assembly. But what truly broke us was not their weapons. It was their determination. Even as we slaughtered their soldiers, their civilians, old, young, frail, stood in our path. They refused to surrender. Korak's voice dropped to a growl. We learned that day that fighting humans is not worth the cost. For every inch of ground, we paid in blood. They are like the black hole, unyielding, relentless, and all-consuming. The council chamber buzzed with unease. Finally, Chancellor Drenvar spoke. Then the decision is clear. Let it be known across the galaxy. We will not provoke humanity. We will not wage war against them. Pale tilted her head. And if they provoke us? The Chancellor's gaze hardened. Then we do what they would do. Fight as though our very existence depends on it. The council adjourned, and as the representatives filed out, the words of Ambassador Relka lingered in the air. They are dangerous because they care, and in that caring lies a strength we cannot match. Far away on a small blue planet, unaware of the Galactic Council's deliberations, humanity carried on, flawed, stubborn, and fiercely united.